I just woke up. The weather is really cold out here, and the weekend's over. And today we will be reading George Orwell's Animal Farm. It's a book that should be on any beginner's list. So anyone who starts reading should at least, over the first few years should read this book. It's simple, it's interesting, and it has a very, very powerful narrative. Also, I have some work today because the weekend's over. My work for the day is over. I can finally read this novel. Crisis situation. I didn't know this in the morning, but now I got a call from my workspace and I have to go to another city. Okay, bye. This is the best sweet shop in Jammu. I have nothing to do on the flight, so I'll be watching a 1954 adaptation of Animal Farm. I've already read the book, so I'll be watching the movie.
The movie is brilliant. It's quite old. It was made in 1954, so it just uses some very simple visuals and a voiceover to tell the narrative. But still, it's a classic. And what makes it a classic is the narrative of Animal Farm itself. The narrative shines through this movie. And Animal Farm, I think, is a reminder that some of the greatest literature in the world is also the simplest. At one level, it's a political novel, and I think it's one of the best political novels ever written. It traces how the failure of the October Revolution, the Russian Revolution in 1917. So all the characters in the novels can be traced to various individuals who took part in the Russian Revolution. But even if you do not know the context, even if you cannot pinpoint about which character is Trotsky and which is Lenin and who is Stalin, even without that political context, it just emerges as one of the most profound literary reflections on the idea of political rebellion and revolution. How there is an ideal of political revolution, how there are people working hard to achieve that revolution, and finally, when the regime actually succeeds, they turn into the mirror image of a previous regime. They end up being the people they had revolted against. It is this insight into the nature of politics that refuses to change across time and generations, even after people have put in so much effort, that the novel is able to capture. And you don't need the context of Russian Revolution to understand that profound universal message. But you don't even need the political context to understand the novels. I've heard about some kids who have read this novel and they just see these characters as just animals. Animals fighting, interacting, having a conflict with each other, good animal versus bad animal. And at that level of a fable, also this novel works phenomenally. So, it is the quality of great literature that it can work at so many different levels. It can speak to a 10-year-old child and it is like a Disney cartoon for him. and it can speak to a 60-year-old person and an intellectual, and it's about a reflection on political revolution for him. It's as if, as a person grows, the novel grows with you, and it speaks to everyone from 10 year to 20 year to 50 year. And this is only very few great writers can achieve this kind of simplicity in storytelling and the profoundness in thought, and George Orwell combines them together in such brilliantly in Animal Farm.